It was one of those rare Saturdays when the house felt like mine again. I had the whole place to myself, something that hadn't happened in a while. My roommate, Tara, had gone on a weekend trip to visit her boyfriend, and I was planning to do all the things I couldn't usually do. Deep clean, do laundry without someone tossing in their stuff midway, maybe even watch some guilty pleasure reality TV in my pajamas while eating cookie dough straight from the tub. It had been a long week at the law firm where I worked as a junior paralegal. My schedule was usually a mix of long hours, passive-aggressive coworkers, and endless emails marked urgent that never actually were. So, this weekend was mine, and I intended to savor every second. Around noon, I had just finished sorting laundry into 3 piles on the living room floor. I know, most people do laundry in the laundry room or bedroom, but the natural light from the big front window made the living room feel so much more inviting. Plus, I could fold everything while watching something lighthearted. I had just started an old season of The Bachelor, the kind of background noise that didn't require too much attention. Somewhere between switching the whites to the dryer and tossing the delicates into the wash, I decided to try on a few of my summer outfits. Summer was only 2 weeks away, and I had gained a little confidence after sticking to morning yoga and meal prepping for a month. I went back and forth from my bedroom to the living room, tossing tried-on clothes into different piles. I was wearing one of those oversized graphic t-shirts that basically counted as a dress, and underneath, well, nothing. I figured it didn't matter. I was home alone. Who was going to see? I was relaxed, even a little proud of how organized I was being, considering how chaotic my work life had been lately. After trying on a dress that no longer fit and deciding to donate it, I realized I had left a small pile of folded laundry, mostly underwear, on the edge of the couch. I picked it up, brought it back to my room, but unknowingly dropped a pair along the way. It wasn't until later that I realized I hadn't picked everything up. But by that time, things had already taken an unexpected turn. Around 2:30 p.m., I heard a knock at the front door. It was light at first, then a little louder. I paused the TV, a spoon of cookie dough still halfway to my mouth, and walked cautiously to the door. I peeked through the peephole and saw Ben, Tara's older brother. He was standing there in jeans and a gray hoodie, holding a small paper bag. I hadn't seen him in over a month, not since he helped Tara move a heavy bookshelf into her room. We'd only spoken a few times, mostly small talk. He was polite, quiet, and definitely attractive in that laid-back, scruffy kind of way. I opened the door. "Hey, sorry, didn't mean to just show up," he said, looking slightly sheepish. "Tara left her laptop charger at my place last weekend. She asked me to drop it off." "Oh, right," I said, stepping aside. "Come in for a second. She's out of town until Sunday, though." Ben stepped inside, looking around like he was trying to remember where everything was. I took the charger and placed it on the kitchen counter. He lingered, and for a moment, I wondered if he was going to leave right away or if I should offer him something to drink. "That's a pretty intense sorting system," he said with a small smile, pointing to the piles of folded clothes still sitting on the floor near the couch. I laughed nervously. "Yeah, it's laundry day. Or weekend, I guess." Ben laughed too, rubbing the back of his neck. "It's cool. I'm impressed, actually. I just dump everything in and pray it comes out the same color." I grabbed a glass from the cupboard. "You want water or anything?" "Sure. Water's great," he said. I poured him a glass and handed it over. I noticed he had this calm presence, the kind of person who didn't try too hard, but still somehow made you feel at ease. I tried not to be overly self-conscious, but I was suddenly very aware of the fact that I was wearing nothing under my oversized t-shirt. I shifted uncomfortably, tugging at the hem. "I should probably go finish laundry before I forget," I said, mostly to give myself something to do. He nodded and looked toward the couch. That's when it happened. His expression changed, just for a second. He looked down, then quickly looked away. His ears turned a bit red. "What's up?" I asked, turning to see what he had seen. There it was. A pair of my underwear. Bright red. Lacy. Lying in plain sight right next to the couch where I had been folding clothes earlier. My stomach dropped. I froze. The room suddenly felt hotter. I scrambled to pick it up and muttered something that wasn't even a full sentence. "Oh my God, sorry, I didn't realize," I trailed off, my face burning. Ben raised both hands slightly, his eyes focused on the floor.
Totally okay.
I didn't see anything. But he had. We both knew it. And I wasn't even mad at him. It wasn't his fault. I was the one who'd been walking around like I lived in a private mansion. I was embarrassed, mortified, and yet, part of me wanted to laugh. Maybe it was the absurdity of the moment, or the fact that I had spent the morning dancing around in socks like I was in a movie montage. I swear, this is not how I usually live, I said, laughing awkwardly. Ben chuckled, still looking politely at the wall. You're fine. I've got sisters. Stuff happens. It was such a simple response, but it disarmed me. He wasn't making it weird. He wasn't smirking or being sarcastic. He was kind, patient even. After a second, he turned back toward the door. I should let you get back to your laundry. Thanks for dropping off the charger, I said, walking him to the door. Anytime, he replied, and then he paused. If you ever need help with anything heavy or, another bookshelf, let me know. I smiled. I'll keep that in mind. He left, and I closed the door, leaned against it, and let out the longest breath of my life. I felt a mix of embarrassment, relief, and something else. Curiosity, maybe? I replayed the moment in my head, cringing and laughing at the same time. Over the next few days, I expected to feel awkward or maybe even regretful about the whole thing. But I didn't. In fact, I kind of kept thinking about it. And about him. When Tara got back on Sunday evening, I casually asked her how her trip went, and we fell into easy conversation like usual. Later that night, she brought up Ben. He said he dropped off my charger. Did he bug you or anything? No, not at all, I said.
He was really sweet.
She nodded. Yeah, he's a good guy. Way too quiet, though. Like, he never talks unless you ask him something first. That night, I scrolled through my texts and saw I had a message from a number I didn't recognize.
Hey, it's Ben.
Hope the rest of your laundry day went better. Also, sorry again. You handled that like a champ. I stared at the screen, smiling despite myself. I typed back. I guess next time I'll make sure my socks match and maybe double-check for stray items. 3 dots appeared almost instantly. Well, if it makes you feel better, red's a good color. Not that I was looking. Just saying. I laughed out loud. For the first time in a long while, I didn't feel like I needed to be perfectly polished or professional. I could just be me, embarrassing moments and all. And somehow, that felt better than perfect.